Let's figure out what's going on in the world with your ADD news. And we kick off a brand new hour of the show. The return of March Sadness is here. Today, we're going to celebrate the saddest award you've ever won. Every once in a while, you think you win a trophy or a certificate. It should be an exciting moment. Every once in a while, there's a big award that actually matters. And then there's all those sad awards you've won in your life.
I know exactly what my saddest award is.
So think about that for a moment. You can join us for March Sadness coming up next hour on the show. But right now, what's happening in the world?
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. Ooh, bubble wrap.
Well, it seems like the theme of the week is gambling debt, because fresh off of the rumors that Bruno Mars owes millions of dollars in gambling debt, we've learned that Shohei Ohtani's interpreter has his own gambling debts, and it has now gotten him fired. The Dodgers organization is accusing him of stealing money from Shohei to pay his gambling debts. Over the course of several years, he accumulated $4.5 million in gambling debt, but he swears that he never bet on baseball. He said it was just soccer and football. So Ohtani apparently knew about the debt and wired him money to help him get out of it. And then
that's a good guy
when
right
he
there.
wired the money, it just said loan because they have to write something, and they didn't want to say horrible, crippling gambling debt.
Yeah, but then they looked into it and they found out.
Yeah, but they aren't sure. Like, they know Ohtani knew about it, but they don't know. Like, and then they don't think that he was involved in the betting portion of any of this. But they're like, was he really just trying to help the guy out, or is he kind of a victim of a scam? Like that this guy was hitting him up and taking advantage of him.
Or does Shohei have a gambling problem and he's putting his bets in through the interpreter? That's the other
that's what
theory.
I've said, is that they don't think that he was involved.
They don't think so, but
part.
once gambling's involved, everyone starts looking. And I'll tell you one thing right now, that is about as cushy a gig as you can get. If you can be the translator for a super rich, successful person, you're living a good life.
Well,
because
they said
you're staying in all the nice hotels.
Yes, you're getting all the perks, and he was making between $300,000 and $500,000.
And you don't have to do
that
anything other than just say what he's saying. And you could probably even change those words around. Who's going to really call you out?
Well, and I wonder what is he? Is he there like in the locker room next to him while he's getting changed?
I think it's
how much of everything is he there for?
Primarily, well, okay. I mean, if you're the interpreter on call, you need to be there when you're needed.
You need to be there all the time,
but I think
right?
Primarily, it's the post game media sessions and stuff, and then every once in a while, you just show up. But I mean, God,
but in those more private moments with the team, is he like, he said nice ass?
I wish I could speak another language. I'd love to be an interpreter.
I'm also sad he got fired, because this would have been such a more interesting season.
Oh, if
he had still been there.
If you knew the interpreter just lost a grip like on one of the games.
Yeah, I would watch every game.
He's all angry after the fact, like when he's doing the translation.
Yeah. All right, you know how there are little money rules that some people tell you to live by, like you should always save 10% of your paycheck, or the 50-30-20 rule, which I didn't even know about, but it's the idea that you spend 50% of your income on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings, retirements, stocks, etc. But now experts are saying, because times are changing and because inflation has gotten astronomical, it's now a 60-30-10 rule. And that even saving 10% of your income is now a struggle. And we spend the majority of our money on just basic everyday needs.
Right.
And, like 60% is on basic needs just to get by. 30% is on things that we actually want to be doing. And then the remaining 10% is like saving enough to scrape by in an emergency.
I've been living by the 150-10 rule. And it's been working great for me.
Doesn't even add up, right?
But
this is all supposed to
100% on things I want. 50% on credit card for things I need that I couldn't afford because I spent what I needed to spend on things I wanted. And then 10%
on
is
debt?
regret.
Oh.
That's my rule.
I think that's a terrible... I think the interpreter was living by that rule.
That's right. It's a good rule.
All right, Uber drivers have to deal with a lot of crap every day. Rude passengers, drunk passengers, handsy passengers. As a former Uber driver who spent an evening hosing off my car at a gas station because a guy had just vomited a daiquiri inside of it, I know that it can be a struggle. But that's nothing compared to what this guy went through. A woman got in the back of his Uber and then immediately got shot at as he drove away. And this is, of course, he had a dash cam, so here's how it sounded.
Diamond?
Yeah. Go. You finna shoot up the car.
Shoot up the car?
Yeah, go.
What the f***? What is that? What the f*** is that? What the f*** is that?
He just shot at the car.
For what?
Let me call the police.
This.
Let me call the police, cousin.
I'm going to call the police. Don't worry about it. I'm going to call the police.
What the hell, man?
As soon as she got it, and he's like, Diamond? And she's like, uh-huh. Yeah, drive!
Yeah, but if you're the Uber driver and you see the passenger get in and slouch down, you know you're in trouble, right?
She got in and immediately slouched down and was like, "Go, go, go!"
Dude.
And then she's like, "It's cool, it's cool. I'm just gonna call the cops now."
Yeah, what? And I love the way she just says, "Go ahead and go because they're gonna start shooting."
Yeah.
She just says it like as a matter of fact.
I'm gonna. By the way, from now on, when I get into an Uber, I'm just gonna get into every Uber the exact same way, just for the excitement of it. I'm just gonna get into all my Ubers and be like, "Guys,
dude.
just go, go, go! They're gonna start shooting. Just go."
Klein Alley Show.
Let's go.
I don't have a clue.
There is no KROQ now without Ali and Klein.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Oh, hell yeah. Welcome to a brand new hour of Klein Alley Show here on the world famous KROQ. It is the Prequend, and we got a good hour planned for you. Why? I don't have the answer just yet, but I will.
We'll find it.
We'll find it sometime this hour. March Sadness is back. What is the saddest award or accolade you ever received? There are some really sad ones that technically get called awards, but for whatever reason, we all know participation is not really an award, but what is the variation of sadness as a child, as an adult? I think the funniest are the ones you get like as an adult. You're like a grown-ass individual, hair on your body, etc., and still people feel the need to give you an award because they want you to feel good, but then when you really break down what you got like runner-up for Employee of the Month or something. It's not really an award.
No, the last award that it's the saddest award I ever won was a few years ago at my wife's company holiday party. And I was given an award.
Cuckold.
A piece of paper.
Cuckold of the Month.
No. I'll explain.
All right, we'll get to that later. March Sadness, you can join us for that. We'll also get into around and meet the neighbors this hour. Going through a personal weird thing, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But on the GOAT line, as we love the interaction with you guys. This is a fascinating... I wish I had remembered this, Allie, but take a listen because this is a message from someone who is way behind on the show, but they wanted to alert us to something.
Hi, guys. I'm about to walk into work, but I just wanted to call. I'm way behind in the podcast, and a couple days ago, I was listening to one where you guys were talking about making shirts with Allie's long quotes, and I think you may have forgotten her quote with Alanis Morissette, which, if I recall correctly, Omar played. He overlapped that with the wet leg question, and it actually ended up being longer. So maybe Omar could add that into his mix, and maybe you could add that to the shirt, or maybe add another shirt for that question. But I'm pretty sure that you guys left that out. So anyway, thanks for what you do, sweet did. Have a good one.
All right,
I thought we had each other's backs, listeners.
So here we go.
Come on, man.
Someone alerting us to the fact that the question Allie asked wet leg, which was one of the longest questions ever, and is available on a limited edition shirt at the KROQ shop.
Is it on the KROQ
I don't know. They said they were going to put it on there, but to be honest, I think they ran out of ink or something. Here is, we did find a question that Allie asked Alanis, and this is the one the woman is speaking of. I don't remember this one specifically, but apparently it is one of the longest questions ever asked, and even longer than the wet leg question. So here we go.
Colin, has writing always been, I know writing has been a huge outlet for you throughout your career and throughout your life, and has that relationship changed over time? You've been the show that you're about to perform at has a huge focus on mental health. You've been very open about your mental health, and writing and making music. Has that always been something that helps you, or has it been sort of a challenge or a block for you in some ways?
Oh, it was great.
29 seconds long, that question. Now, Omar says he found another one that was your all-time longest, and you asked it to Hosier. And he says it was almost a minute long, the question.
That one I actually think I remember, and it was very uncomfortable.
How did you not remind us of that when we did that?
Why would I remind you guys?
Here is an even longer question.
When these questions happen, I go, I hope nobody noticed that.
Yeah.
And then I want to bury it and forget about it.
I think you can actually hear me leave and make a cup of coffee in the middle of the question and come back. Listen to this.
Yeah, it was crazy because I went and saw you at the Troubadour. Was that last week? And fantastic show. Obviously, any show at the Troubadour is going to be amazing. But I mean, your vocals are always out of this world. And one thing I did notice was that I was sitting next to a girl who looked like she was probably 20 years old, and then to my left was a couple that looked like they were in their 70s. And everybody was like equally jamming out, you know, and it does kind of your music really does hit a lot of different people. And maybe, I mean, I don't know why you think that is, but it's kind of, some of your music can kind of have that bluesy classic feel, and some of it, the other music is very experimental, right, and seems very modern.
What the hell was that?
Oh my God.
Okay, that was a story.
Yeah, oh God.
That wasn't necessarily a question. I'm just chatting, Klein. I'm having a
Oh,
conversation
my
here.
Lord.
I'm not an interviewer.
She's establishing a rapport.
Okay.
She just
yeah.
described every person at the Troubadour that night in the question.
I think when I started talking about the bluesy stuff, I really lost my path.
Here's where because all you really asked him at the end of it was right. That was the question. Was right? Question mark.
Well, I wanted him to comment about the fact that he's got all these different kinds of people that doesn't. All right.
323. Wow. Bring it home. You know what? They're not. That's right.
It's the shortest thing I ever said.
Finally.